Hello, everybody. This is Tetrafolium covering the rest of the battles for the Turn 17 Rocks Draft League for Game 3. With me today is a very unfamiliar guest, the captain of the Anor Londo Azus, and begrudgingly, once again, the KO leader, Baja.
Yo.
So now it's just the two of us standing at the top of the leaderboards. How about that?
Yeah, well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't see it coming.
Damn. I don't know. You could have lost to the Grafted Grafaiais.
I could have, but but I didn't.
It's
Spoilers, I guess.
it's a good line.
Yeah.
What's important to me is that Agent Wisdom is at the top of the KPG. Um, you've got a one-trick wonder, Passimian up there too.
Yeah, he put on that monkey business.
Some Baja Blast to go for your monkey business.
No, this is Jack Daniels.
Oh, it's that kind of video, huh?
Yeah.
Any big surprises this week?
A couple. I guess we'll I don't want to spoil any of them as we get into the games, but some games were surprising in their outcome. Some people were worse than I thought they were. And yeah, it made some more interesting games that I thought would have been sweeps.
Yeah. Well, with all that out of the way, I guess we can get into the actual games.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first, it looks like we've got the Identity Thieves of Hearts, who I smoked last week against the Vaultin Veluzas. Is that right?
That's right.
Have you had the privilege of smoking them yet?
I have not, but I do have the privilege of getting a DM every morning before their game asking for help in the team builder. So
That is hilarious. All right, I'm
yeah.
gonna hazard trying to boost the audio on the background music. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right, let's just get into it.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's no Appleton this time.
Mm.
That thing is, especially not that sleep talk, whatever it was last time.
That was egregious.
Yeah.
So for Jet to start here, I would guess he's going for Glamora or for Frostlass. Both make sense to try to get spikes up early. So Vaporeon, the Espeon, is a very good pick for either of those, I'd say. Although I might, in case Frostlass is coming out, I might have gone Zoroark disguised as Vaporeon.
Well, I mean, it could be for all we know.
Yeah, that's true.
So, are you clicking Shadow Ball here? Oh, never mind. He's clicking Shadow Ball. Into Magic Bounce Taunt. Okay, I was gonna ask if you were clicking Spikes or Shadow Ball on the Frostlass. Obviously, Shadow Ball on the Espeon, but if it's Zoroark, you don't want to do that.
Right. See, my thought here is when I saw Shadow Ball, that it might actually be Zoroark, but
right.
Magic Bounce Taunt is hilarious.
It's yeah.
I don't think Taunt is good even if you're calling out the Zoroark, to be honest.
No.
But we get just an exchange of Shadow Balls here. Curse Body, is that gonna matter? No.
I don't think he brings in anything that he doesn't want Shadow Balled. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
He just got that thing too, didn't he?
No, I think he had Toxicroak the whole time.
No,
Yes, Jet just got rebonded. You're right.
All right. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Is this a JoJo's reference here?
I don't know. I don't quite know what it is, but
wouldn't be surprised. So here comes Gerald. To just clean up with Earth Power. I like the sack there. Oh my
Oh, it's
gosh.
Zoroark. Oh my god. Wow.
That's
Um,
insane. That Gerald outspeeds. So clearly that's got to be Scarf.
that's Scarfed. I told him to run that.
Well,
All me, baby. But what's more insane is that that he didn't kill it.
well, I'm
Would
not.
wouldn't Shadow Ball have done it?
I'm not sure. So you're 80 base power fighting type move versus an 80 base power ghost type move. You're getting stab on both, so it probably doesn't
Right,
kill either
right.
way.
Hey, Tarad.
Well, that's definitely gonna force a switch.
Yep. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Not stall this time. It's leftovers, but with Aqua Tail, huh?
I don't know what Aquatail's for. Like, what do you
I
hit?
don't. I don't
Like,
know.
what does Aquatail hit that Earthquake doesn't? Literally nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, big water ground off here.
Yep.
Fristing for the freeze. Oh, agency. Oh, and there's the thaw immediately.
Not
Insane.
agency. We thought we had shooters, but we didn't.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, Glamora can just come in and clean up the toxic spikes at least.
Agency.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Who'd he buy off for that?
Yeah. He just sacks the Quag. Just constant ice beams from a 1 point. I guess he's unaware, so it doesn't matter. Well, there's Zoroark. Oh, and it has Grass Knot. I didn't know I got that, to be honest.
Well, I mean, even still, you see Zoroark come in against Gastrodon. Don't you switch out?
I don't know. I don't know what.
We need a counter for how many times Gastrodon has switched out in this league, and it would still be at 0. It would still be at 0.
Oh my god.
But a counter would be
Alright.
hilarious.
Whenever I play these two, I need to remember to just bring like exclusively revenge kill sets because it seems people just like leave their mons in to die thinking they can take it. Quag just sat there and took ice beams, and Frostlass took shadow balls, and Root Bonnet took a sludge bomb or whatever for some reason. So dunk shot.
Listen, switching out is not easy to learn because when you're playing the in-game, which these guys are basically as good as in-game AIs, you never have to switch to beat them.
I see. So do you think he sacks the Zoroark here to the revenge kill?
I was gonna say I hope not. Mortal Spin.
Oh, Mortal Spin! Wow.
I don't know what I would have done here. If your Scarf, you're faster.
I click Earth Power.
Yeah, you're faster than everything. I would just click Earth Power. There's no Earth Power resist, and Iron Valiant's gonna basically just die to it.
Yeah.
So.
It at least puts you in sucker range later, and you can clean up with King Gambit.
Yeah. Plus, what if he went Klefki?
Yeah, I don't know.
Klefki's
I
not
guess
actually
maybe he
dead
was
yet.
thinking about. No, he wasn't thinking about Earth Power because why would he send in Toxicroak?
Yeah, I have
No, I don't
idea.
think Klefki's actually come in yet.
I would have went Klefki for sure.
Yeah,
or
he was
Clink Lang.
Klefki. Big T wave into the die of the armor cannon. Oh, yep, there it is.
Jeez Louise. And Iron Valiant comes in. Plus attack.
Attack. Oh my god, the knock.
Jeez Louise. Do we actually
Okay,
do we see a win here?
No.
Oh my god. Does Iron Valiant get any priority moves? Does he get Shadow Sneak?
Let me look. Shadow Sneak or Sucker or something. Let's see. Iron Valiant. It does not get Sucker, and it gets Shadow Sneak. Yeah, it does.
Oh my god. Could you imagine if he had Shadow Sneak on this?
Can you imagine if you switched into Klefki?
Hell, any play, literally any play would have been better than what
Anything
he did.
but sack the Valiant.
You
dog.
could sack.
Oh my
you could
God.
sack Zoroark here, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he just clicks Earth Power and wins, right? He just sacks the Gambit here and wins.
Yep.
Word.
Well, no. He could have Sucker Punch as his last
Oh, he
move.
could have Sucker Punch, yeah. He doesn't have Sucker Punch as his last move.
Oh my god. Well, Zoroark gets Sucker Punch. Okay.
Oh, wait, when did
Wait.
Klefki die?
Yeah, Klefki died,
Oh, yeah, that's right. It ate an armor cannon. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's why it can't switch back in.
That's
yeah,
just...
there's the no Sucker Punch in the chat. No special. That's egregious.
Dude, literally no priority moves on 3 Pokemon that could potentially have it. That's insane.
That is insane.
I'm not gonna say, oh, you needed Sucker Punch Zoroark, but no Sucker on Toxicroak?
I feel like that's the only move I ever see Toxicroak click besides Drain Punch.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, unless you're gonna be special Toxicroak, but in that case you have Vacuum Wave, don't you? I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
What would you rate that game?
It was... I'm going to say a 7. It was a lot of fun watching things come in, click one move, and the other guy dies to it. When it could have been definitely avoided.
Yeah.
So...
I think a mid-off is a lot more fun than a sweep.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yep. The middest of mid-offs right here.
Yep. Let's switch sides so that the protagonist is on the right side.
Sure. Yeah, so this was my team. I spent a while prepping for this because I didn't want to lose this matchup because I'm good friends with the captain of the Grafted Grafaiais, and I know he at least plays a lot of random battles, so he at least knows how to play Pokemon somewhat. But I was really afraid of Walking Wake, which he didn't bring, which honestly I think is disrespectful to me. Because Walking Wake is so good, and he gave up an OU plus spot for that just to not bring it against me. And then also like Talonflame is really good. So yeah, he didn't bring that. It's worth mentioning that Espathra, of course, can't run Speed Boost. Just as a reminder that I'm allowed to use anything on Espathra except Speed Boost, so it's not Ubers. Because I can't just put it up behind a sub and screens and win the game. So yeah, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't sure what Jolteon and Frogadier would do besides watching some of his other games, but I wasn't really worried about them. And it let me. I was basically like playing. And all my games were around keeping Azumarill alive to check Walking Wake. But since it's not here, I can sort of just do whatever I want with Azumarill because that was its job.
Right.
So yeah, that was that. So we'll see how this goes.
I mean, before even getting into this game, I don't see how he can win without Walking Wake. Like, Walking Wake for Jolteon would have increased his chances to win probably 30%.
I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know why he didn't bring it, but
all right, let's go through it. So Frogadier lead is pretty much like exactly what you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a suicide Spike's lead and
Focus Sash
definitely.
Yeah. So I'm not prepped at all for Frogadier because I didn't think he'd bring it because it's bad. So I was like, I was probably like typing in moves here to see if it like learned Dark Pulse or anything like Greninja. I don't think it does. If it does, I switch out. If it doesn't, then I stayed in. So I guess we'll see.
What were you expecting him to lead?
I'm not sure. When I played some practice games, leading Annihilate put me in a rough spot. But I figured like this is, I'll tell you, this is Focus Sash Espathra. So I felt pretty confident putting it in against like anything I wouldn't otherwise like check, but something like Iron Treads, I can just switch out to Arboliva. So this was like a check for a lot of the things on his team, and if it wasn't, I feel safe pivoting. So
gotcha. So first turn he's gonna get up the Toxic Spikes. I think that's a good. I think that's a good play because it's gonna force Scizor in because you really don't want to get poisoned on any of your Pokemon.
No, I don't have a grounded poison type. This is the immediate turn 2 where I thought I was goobed because he brings in Defiant Annihilate on the Defog, which I never even considered Defog as a stat lowering move. Because I knew about Defiant because I had to be careful not to strength sap it with Arboliva and give it a boost or parting shot it, but I didn't even consider this play, which was super sick.
Yeah, that's
And
very
so I thought I
shiced.
was just like fucked right here.
Yeah.
So what I aim to do here is sack my Arboliva and get my Focus Sash Spothra in safely with Sash intact, so I can blow this thing up, or at least cut its Spadef so I can revenge kill it.
Seems
So
good.
that's what I go for. I get that right, and then at this point, I was wondering if he scarfed Annihilate. So even if he wasn't, I encored here, thinking that he would have Drain Punched and I could have gotten Polt and at least forced him out that way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's definitely gooped.
Yeah.
The Shadow Claw, like clicking Shadow Claw again, whether if he's scarfed, that's just insane to call a double switch like that.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And supposing he's not scarf, that's just insane to call out a double switch like that. Yeah. And then you encore him with like literally the worst possible thing that could have happened to him that turn, probably. Because let's say if he wasn't scarfed, he could have at least switched up to Drain Punch. But then you say
exactly.
No, he's stuck.
I was expecting him to Drain Punch and me to encore him into that and go Polt, and break him that way. But I guess it was not an issue.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So he has no grass type, so I should just go for Leech Seed here. Yeah, he reveals that I'm Seed Sower because like I said, I was worried about Big Bad Walking Wake, so I wanted to be able to heal up a Azumarill. But Gardevoir kind of gets walled by the Arboliva guy here.
Yeah.
Just has to switch. And I call the switch with another Leech Seed. And yeah, he's Flame Orb for quick feet. So
is that tech or trash?
Trash.
Trash. What do you think? What do you think his goal is with Flame Orb on Jolteon?
I don't know. I was really confused as to why Jolteon came in right now, and when it revealed the Flame Orb, I thought maybe he was Trick, and that he was aiming to trick it onto Arboliva or something. But I don't know why this comes in versus Arboliva. I feel like it's just sort of walled. So.
And then he goes for
reveals
Wish.
He's Wish, yeah. This is like 8 Spatak investment Arboliva, just punching holes in his team. And yeah, then he just wished Grafaiais. I called the switch again. And got another Leech Seed up because I didn't lose anything by missing it. And I haven't missed a Leech Seed, so agency.
This is just insanity.
Yeah.
Quick Feet, Wish, Jolteon.
I don't know.
That set has never been used ever before. Literally and first time. World premiere right here.
World premiere, and it clearly has no bulk because fucking Arboliva is annihilating it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and quite honestly, that was dead on arrival. Never used that set ever.
Yeah.
And then to Wish, and you're getting basically a switch out to whatever you want here. I don't know why you don't hazard Gardevoir switch. I mean, yeah, if you Giga Drain, that kills. So maybe Grafaiais is better in that case. Actually,
maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Surely he has Mystical Fire on Gardevoir, knowing I have Scizor, and that's a switch he could call. So I don't know what that does to Arboliva. Hopefully something. But at this point, I'm looking at it and saying, well, he can either Gunk Shot me, Ice Beam me, or Mystical Fire me. And he's not the kind of guy to put Gunk Shot on Grafaiais. It's just not in his nature. So I figure I'm good to... If Grafaiais has an attacking move, that's one too many attacking moves for his liking. So that's the basis for this play. And then I immediately get myself Grimmsnarl in because he's a dark type, and I figure he's going to try and prankster some status. And then, well, he reveals that he's not prankster. because he switcheroos me.
That is actually hilarious. That was a halfway decent tech.
Yeah.
And I like the black sludge too.
Right.
For that reason.
So my light screen won't be up for as long, but I still have the light clay up, and I just go straight into port here because I figure even if he gets spikes up, he's gonna have to switch, and Portia's gonna get some kills. He doesn't switch. I don't I don't know what he was cooking, but
I think I was watching this one live, and it was turn 13 that I realized that he didn't have Walking Wake on his team.
yeah.
That's insane. Still. Ice Beam.
Yeah.
I wonder, so you're in against Dragapult. Okay, that makes sense why you might Ice Beam, but there's no way Frogadier is faster than Dragapult and is like...
No, and his sash is broken, which I know about, and I'm behind light screen and would kill him. So I have Scizor in off the U-turn to get rid of the Toxic Spikes, and I said he's not going Annihilate again, there's no way. So I just defog. So I didn't think he had that dog in him. And then he just stays in the Bullet Punch. I don't know.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he forgot that Bullet Punch existed.
Right.
I don't know if he is like, I can't switch to Iron Treads for some reason.
I was expecting Treads to come in and me to take like Rocky Helmet Ship or something, but I didn't. So yeah, here it comes in anyways. And Arboliva is my wall for this thing, so I figured I could go for a crazy play and close combat it, but I decided just to play it safe because I'm up a lot at this point. And then so I go back to Grimmsnarl here, and he reveals that he's actually Gunk Shot. I didn't think he had the fucking balls, but he did, and then he poisoned me.
That's super agency. Super agency.
I decided to save the sack and just Parting Shot out there. And he switcheroos me again. So now he has boots and I have light clay. And then
doesn't really matter. I mean, the boots on him doesn't really matter. You have no hazard.
I have no hazards, and his hazards are Toxic Spikes. He Gunk Shots. I don't know what he was calling.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he encores it, and I was just gonna click CC anyways. So I guess he gets to bring in Frogadier, I guess, but I mean, at this point, Azumarill can do that thing since it's AV, so I just get a liquidation off, and he starts bulking up, but he doesn't Terra here, for no reason, and the Aqua Jet does min 11%, so I just click it.
This sequence of moves right here is just egregious.
It is. I was prepared to sack right here to get some chip off in case I didn't want him to be at full if he's a rest set, and I wanted to be able to revenge kill with Polder or Spothra. So I figure I'm just going to keep attacking. I'll play rough because it does the same as liquidation if he Terras, and if he doesn't, then good for me. And he didn't. I don't know. So
yeah. I don't get why you don't Terra. Maybe he forgot.
Right.
Quite honestly, that's the only reason why I could think he would he would not Terra. Which is.
But yeah, at this point, Annihilate is dead. Gardevoir is dead. There's no Walking Wake. And like his Treads is like a weird Volt Switch set that I know is super smoked by Arboliva. And so at this point, like, there's nothing he can do. Like, he's fishing for freezes, I guess, or calling a switch or something, but like, look at that. That's nothing.
My question is, why doesn't he just go hard Jolteon on the revenge? Because, I mean, it's Volt Switch or it's Thunderbolt or whatever other electric type move it might have. Might be enough to threaten you out at least.
I know. I don't know. But yeah, Ironhead does a lot, but not enough, and that's agency. And yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So again, a 6-0, but I don't feel good about this game because I feel like not like he didn't bring Walking Wake, and he blundered his Annihilate, which was his only like real remaining threat. And so I feel like he just didn't bring his threats against me or use them well. When I know he could have. He even had Gunk Shot Grafaiais, which I didn't think he had, and he had the sick Annihilate into Defog to get the Defiant boost tech. And it wasn't Scarf, by the way, because it's bulk up. So he was just reading something with that Shadow Claw. But yeah, it was disappointingly easy.
Can we talk about how on this turn, if he would have just clicked Drain Punch?
Drain Punch, yeah. It doesn't kill, but it does like 80-90%. And I was just like, I wanted to... He would have weakened my Arbaliva for the rest of the game. And been in such a good spot.
Yeah, like, if he clicks Drain Punch here and does 80% and you Encore him, then a switch to Dragapult is so obvious. He can switch to what I presume is Scarf Gardevoir, and then now it's a 50-50 for you whether he's going to click Moonblast like on your Dragapult or predict the Scizor and absolutely
Mystical
Massacre
Fire.
with Mystical Fire.
Yeah. The thing is, I do have Azumarill, and since I don't have to worry about keeping it healthy for Walking Wake, with AV, it doesn't take too much.
But that's
I can
still
at least
chip.
like learn some of it. Oh, it's 100% chip. He's in a way better situation because it goes from me being on the back foot in that situation to him getting his pack smoked by Arbaliva for like 5 turns as his entire team gets leech seeded chipped. So yeah, this was the craziest play of the game, and honestly, it switched the whole thing right here.
Right. I think in this position here, I like Alex to win. It's not a slam dunk, but like if you said from this position, put money down on who's going to win this game, I'd say Alex.
I'd put money on him too.
Yeah. But then the over prediction with Shadow Claw into Encore, now it's like it just snowballs out of control for him. Yeah, so this is a lesson. Some people got it like that, but some people don't. And if you don't got it like that, just click what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the next game here. So for this game, I did a bit of coaching for our boy Whale Cookie, the leader of the Bulkin Bloons. And I gave him a few sets to really help him out in this matchup against JWK Jr. And we'll see if they worked out.
Yeah, I feel inclined to mention that I was JWK JR's practice partner for a one singular... No, it was 2 games. And I played as Whale Cookie, and I had a similar team to this, except I had Charizard instead of Drifblim. Because I thought Charizard would pack his shit up, which it did. So I feel at least that I should back JWKJR somewhat, because I did help him prepare for this. It's almost like a little proxy war.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely did not put the amount of work in to help him out as you probably did for Whale Cookie here. And we'll see that.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you say proxy war, because I was like, man, I'm not getting my fix early on with my my first 3 matchups being very easy.
Right.
So I was hoping that you were helping out the leader of what's his team called? The Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's start off. I told him to lead Drifblim no matter what, because I figured that JWK is going to lead either Meowscarada or Great Tusk, and this Drifblim is designed specifically to counter those 2 Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah, he always leads Meow. I didn't help him all that much. I just kind of gave him practice games. He's a grown adult who plays this game a lot. He's been in our past Drift League, so I figured he could think for himself. But he's getting goobed, so...
Oh, yeah. So Acrobatics here, turn 1. The idea with this set, with Drifblim, is the item is Colberberry.
Okay.
So, what I was predicting was that Meowscarada would go for a knockoff, thinking that it's going to be just like a free kill, basically. Because if I'm not completely max defensive, it just straight up kills. Also, if it's choice banned, it'll just straight up kill. However, the Colberberry makes sure that you survive guaranteed any Meowscarada set. Then the Acrobatics is going to be double damage, of course, because you have no item. And then you also get the Unburden boost for double speed.
Also, it's worth noting that he's not protein. Otherwise, that would not have been super effective, as he would be a ground type.
Yeah, that's true. That's important to note. So he's going to switch out to Rotom Frost, and we're just going to Acrobatics again. I think that's a fine play for both sides. Goes to Ting Lu, which is suspect, perhaps, because of Blizzard, but we get the agency dodge.
Yep.
I didn't realize that this team has a kind of problem switching into Rotom Frost. Magnezon's like your only good switch in, but that just like gives a Volt switch every time, basically.
Right.
But another thing I told them to do is anytime Great Tusk comes in, just switch to Drifblim. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
And it's paying dividends here. Spin blocking.
I mean, it's immune to 3 of Great Tusk's 4 like common moves. Oh my god, Phantom Force.
That's for Slowbro, just in case we need a 1v1.
Gotcha.
And absolutely playing perfectly around the Rotom Frost here.
Yeah,
and getting
which
spikes
should
up.
be choice at this point, given the fact that it switches instead of clicking Blizzard.
Exactly. Great Tusk is the only thing on the team that can get rid of the hazards, and if as long as Drifblim's alive, it's never happening. So this is hilarious. This is, I believe, Choice Scarf Greninja. I would have put specs. I would have told them to put specs on this, but I wanted them to have specs on Magnezone. Going Drifblim there is perfect against Slitherwing. Slitherwing can't touch it.
Yeah, especially the damage in that first impression might be banded.
Getting a Phantom Force to force the switch out on Slowbro is really good. Not gonna misplay around the Sableye. This is just a textbook goobening right here.
It is.
Gonna go to Great Tusk to try to get some momentum, but we're just gonna get another layer of spikes. Turn 17 spikes.
Oh, huge.
The best turn to get him up on.
Yeah, that's important. That's play rough. That's the knockoff slot. And it's not knockoff. And he's also Life Orb. Because his attacks were immune before, you couldn't see. But yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about this set for Great Tusk? I'm assuming that the last 2 moves are Close Combat and Earthquake.
Headlong.
Even. Okay.
Yeah. When we played, I don't know if he ever clicked Play Rough. Or if he did, I just didn't mention it to him or think about it. But I don't know why you have Play Rough. Because Close Combat kills Ting Lu, and Dragonite is not actually a dragon type. So you probably don't want to be clicking Play Rough into it anyways. So
yeah, the set that I told Whale Cookie to watch out for was Rapid Spin, Ice Spinner, and Fighting type move, probably Close Combat, and Stealth Rocks.
Yeah, that's a great point. If Play Rough is there for Dragonite, you should just put on Ice Spinner, because if you're clicking it expecting Dragonite to be a dragon type, you might as well get the 4 times instead of the 2 times.
Exactly. And then also missing the Play Rough would be hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure what he was cooking up with this one, and I feel responsible slightly as his practice partner for a game to not point that out.
So let's see what Drifblim's gonna do. Strength Sap, get the HP back on the Slowbro, very good. Phantom Force to waste turns, burn the Slowbro out. Does a solid 37. Not great, but not bad.
No, I don't think I've ever seen Drifblim put up these kind of numbers, I'll be honest.
Oh yeah. He's like the Jamal Murray of the team right now.
But yeah, it looks like he doesn't actually 1v1 Slowbro with Rocky Helmet Slack off. Big Mag comes in.
Yep. All right. Now, what do you think he's gonna do here?
He's gonna flash cannon.
Yeah, exactly. Flash cannons.
goat.
That's
He's the goat.
perfect.
He's the goat.
He is literally in this guy's head right now. And then
This is not
just
Boots Slitherwing, so
throws the
rip the
Slitherwing
sack,
out
I
just to
guess.
die. Yeah, I don't get why people do this. Like,
Yeah.
if your Pokemon's gonna die to hazards, when you switch them out, never switch them out on the revenge. Like, you're literally getting nothing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're against a Magirna, then you're literally throwing. Thank God that thing's banned now.
Yeah.
Goes to Drifblim to die. Unfortunate that we don't live that.
Something. Have a good rest, Drifblim. Put in a lot of work. Sableye comes in on the E speed. Remember, it's a Terra normal this time, so I can tell you were coaching him. He switches. He doesn't want to get burned, I assume.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So we have Protect. Or is it Willow, Protect, Recover, Knock Off? I don't know.
I don't remember. I just remember it was not good. Oh, it's
Disable.
Disable.
What's the last move? Recover?
I don't know. But he is probably... Oh, so it's 2 attack Florges, which means he's like inches away from probably getting packed up by Calm Mind. Because he keeps protecting unpredictable turns. Does Florges have Calm Mind? Do you know?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Alright, he needs to be clicking that in the future. And here comes the Disable again. Okay, never mind. He just gets himself packed up. Not sure about that one.
I mean, what are you going to do? Disable Giga Drain?
Well, he's going to throw away his other sack, is what he's going to do.
Oh my gosh. And Rotom Frost with no boots. Where are the boots on this team? Great Tusk doesn't have him. That would make sense. Meow doesn't have him. That would have made sense. Slitherwing doesn't have him. That would have made sense. Slowbro would have made sense. Rotom would have made the most sense. What is
Sableye doesn't have him. Sableye had leftovers, so there's no boots.
I mean, Sableye wouldn't even really make that much sense. But also, the set doesn't make sense in general.
Yeah. I think he was last move Toxic, but I can't swear to that.
Oh my god. double status.
Yeah. Man.
This is just sad.
He's
just going out sad.
Going outside. D-Knight picks up 0 kills. Oh my god. Tinglu gets like what? How many did he get with hazards? 4?
He got, I think he got 3 off of just hazards.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was going to get those 3 anyway, but he's just literally feeding the Tinglu.
It's kind of insane that JWKJR has the best spinner in the format and loses 3 to hazards.
It's insane. This is why you need to draft a ghost type. And you know what? This is a perfect example of how you can use low tier Pokemon like Drifblim in your draft games. Because this Drifblim has the perfect attributes to just completely pack up Great Tusk. There's nothing Great Tusk can do.
And based on what you're saying, it sounds like it would have packed up Meowscarada. Maybe if it was Protein, it probably could have, done some more work, but it wasn't, so it's always going to be weak to that Acro, even if it ended up triggering that berry, which it never made the right play for. So
right, even if you're Protean and you get ground type, Will-O-Wisp absolutely destroys Meowscarada. There's just nothing you can do, and if you don't have a Dark type move to activate that Colbur berry, like you don't have anything to hit Drifblim anyway, so you're losing that 1v1 every time. Yeah, and this was also, like, Drifblim was also sneaky good against Slitherwing because you resist both the stab.
You have Willow and String Sap.
Yeah.
I don't think Rotom Fridge ever came in on Drifblim. Which is like where
Yeah.
Actually looking at Whale Cookie's team, you'd think Rotom Fridge could have put in like some work,
Hmm.
and forced a lot of mind games. But the fact that he didn't have boots meant, or like any way to clear hazards reliably, I guess, just ended up getting his Fridge obliterated.
Right. Yeah. If I have any notes for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, boots, just on anything, but especially on Rotom. Uh, Additionally, um,
I think you should
Disable
think.
Eye is terrible.
Yeah, think about the moves on your sets and why you're bringing them, what you're hitting with them.
Mhm.
Like play rough on Great Tusk, like that wasn't hitting anything, and anything you wanted it to hit, there was a better option for.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And then also just look at Shadow Wizard Money Gang's team again. We didn't talk about this, but where's the fairy resist?
uh,
I mean, unless he's Terra Steel Great Tusk, which he probably is, but
it probably is.
like I see 4 fairy weak Pokemon and 2
Hmm.
that lose to Florges.
Right.
So, I mean, Florges really could have ran away with this game even.
Yeah.
In fact, if he had started Calm Minding up against Visabeleye, it would have been just Jover. I mean, it was already
It would have been
Jover,
super
but
jobber.
yeah. So very good game by Whale Cookie. Very well played.
Mhm.
Um, I would say that's probably the most improved. I know he got a win last week, but like that was there was honestly some throws there on both
There's
sides.
some extenuating circumstances in that game.
Mhm.
Um,
All right. Let's get to the last game. This is the one that I had the least investment in. Well, actually, I was invested in seeing Sarah Ledge not do anything uh, because I'm trying to keep that top spot for KPG.
mhm.
Um, am I like smoking something, or did they both bring the exact same team that they brought last week?
They probably did. I was like practicing as Speedy D's next opponent, so I was looking at his mons. And this is the 6 that I just like. I don't know why the other 4 were there in the draft, so maybe it'll surprise me. But like these seem like the only 6 like to bring just in general, unless you have some crazy tech. So those 6 don't surprise me. And as we know, Arvo is a newer player, so he probably wants to stick with what he knows while he learns. And it also doesn't help that he sends out a mass at everyone, hoping for help with his team 15 minutes beforehand. So that might be why he has the same 6.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind helping him out. It's just like you're gonna ask 10 minutes before you're supposed to play your game. Like, come on.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Actually, who are you leading?
I mean, Arvo always leads Mask. Um, so you can either lead to punish Masquerain, or you could lead, I guess, Fortress of your own. You should be wary of Arcanine, or any special attacker, I guess, because Fortress is kind of a one-trick defensive wall. So
Yeah, I really don't hate Fortress as a lead here. You can rapid spin the webs away,
mhm.
and you're also throwing out your own spikes against a team that, well, I guess Corviknight's probably a decent
Mhm.
defogger.
Yeah, Sylveon's kind of an interesting bring in general here because I'm seeing 2 poison types and a steel type, and a fire type that resists fairy.
Oh yeah.
So it's like only there for backs, which probably just iron heads it.
Hmm.
So I don't really know what it does. Maybe it sets up screens to give a Dragon Dance to Roaring Moon, or a Bulk Up or Swords Dance to Sarah Legend, set up a sweep down the road.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I think I mentioned this in my first game of the league is that the null pointer exceptions, which is
Hmm.
a fantastic name, um, has like 4 poison types on that team. So like my fairy types are just not going to be good. Now, granted,
Hmm.
I have Screamtail, which is also psychic type, so like I could have opted to bring Screamtail with things like Psychic Fangs to rip holes, but I don't even think I brought Screamtail because I was like, yeah, there's so many
Right.
fairy type answers. Why bother?
Yeah.
Which is actually, for somebody who hasn't played before, a pretty good draft strategy when you know Baxcalibur is going to be your first pick. Just drafting a million fairy type answers, because let's face it, fairy types are the only thing that can stop this thing from clicking Glaive Rush.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it, and it's like it's probably the only team I won't bring Azu against. Like Azumarill just gets obliterated by 5 of the 6 mons right there.
Yep. So you just see a Volt Switch from Rotom off the rip.
That's a fair lead. There's no ground types, so you're gonna get the pivot into whatever you want. So
exactly, and yeah, that's good. The only thing you would have lost to, well, actually, you would have lost to Baxcalibur or Gengar lead, but doubtful that you would lead that if you're our vote. She has the webs up, first thing.
Yeah.
Protect.
Yeah, protect with no leftovers. And then I guess he reads the switch here. Hyper Voice goes through substitute, right?
Yes, that's correct. So I don't know what this set is. This is the set he brought against me, I think. I think this is the exact same team that he's been running since week 1. I don't know what the idea behind substitute protect is on a sticky web Masquerade. I could maybe see protect substitute quiver dance with 1 attacking move, but like even that, do you want to be locked into hurricane or quiver dance? Like I don't.
I mean, like, why protect with no leftovers or no like status? Like he's not stalling anything here. He's not gaining, and his opponent's not choiced, so there's not. I don't know.
This is just an egregious set. Now, granted, the only thing Masquerade really should hope to do in a game is get the sticky webs up, and it did that. So, like, whatever else it does is kind of gravy. But like, why
this isn't doing anything? Yeah. And
double
protect. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe he had like a bet to get to like turn 30 or something. And he's just trying to get there.
That's the only logical
answer.
reason.
Yeah.
So he makes a good switch to Toxtricity on Volt Switch. I like that. I don't know about body press against the Sylveon.
Yeah, I don't really know what he was calling coming in on that.
Roaring Moon's the only thing that would have been good to hit, but that's never coming in.
That shouldn't come in, no.
Yeah, if you have Brave Bird, that's a better click, or Iron Head, but I mean doubtful.
Yeah.
Fortnite never runs Iron Head anymore. It's so sad. Going hard Baxcalibur, I like this play a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Moon comes in. And it's plus attack, and it's gone.
Oh my
it's just
god.
Gone. It's wraps.
Oh my god.
So the Roaring Moon switching into the backs is it's a play. It's insane play, especially since you're going to be minus speed off the web.
That's a 68%er play.
Yeah, that's something, man.
Actually, what was he thinking? What was he gonna do?
Mo comes in to trick, presumably a Scarf. Yeah.
Scarf Glaive Rush. Now, granted, Sylveon exists, so that's not so bad. But Scarf is
Scarf backs is so scary. But I mean, you already outspeed everything with webs up, so it's not bad because you guarantee it's only going to click.
Hold on. You see the item that he took?
Loaded dice, yes. And that he had Icicle Crash, yeah, I noticed.
Wait, what? What? Huh?
I don't know. I think he was tired of being clowned on for running Dragon Dance Choice Band. So he took it off for the item that we said he should run, but then maybe we should have told him to move too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't mind Icicle Crash on Baxcalibur. I don't think it's that bad. But like this item combination is crazy. Like the only
Right.
like if it wasn't just him not knowing what the hell any of his moves or items do, I could see maybe you already have your heavy duty boots taken up. You already have your leftovers taken up. You already have I don't know, life
One
orb.
Gengar Toxtricity is probably Spectre Scarf, right?
I don't know, maybe. Then maybe it's just like, oh, I don't have a good item, so let me just throw on an
Yeah.
item that does nothing. But like even that, like why not
Just
throw
put out a
on
berry.
yeah, like a fairy super effective berry or a steel super effective or
Even just like a citrus.
even a citrus. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, all right. Hold on. Before anything happens on them right now, I was gonna say, do you think that Speedy D overreads and switches into another Glaive Rush because Arvo doesn't know that Fairy's immune to Dragon? Or...
No shot. Speedy
Okay.
D is definitely clicking Hyper Voice here.
Yeah.
100%. Yawn.
Yawn.
Okay, I mean that's not the worst play. Actually, that's a pretty
No.
good play because you know Bax has to switch.
Yeah, and now we see the Sludge Wave into the Fortress.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Oh Jesus. At least you got your spin blocker in though. That's
Yep. Here's the Brute Saraledge. Come to bulk up on the Sleeping Gengar.
Yep.
How much do you need to Shadow Sneak? Oh, I guess +1. And
That just kills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why going Arcanine here was not the play. I don't know. Like
I don't know. Maybe Dot Tox outsped.
if Tox is Scarf, then you have an argument here. But no way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at Saraledge here, it hits 295. I don't know if everybody does this in a draft league. I think everybody should do this. I know my Saraledge hits 295, and his Toxtricity hits 273. My Saraledge better have 274 speed at least.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But yeah, Arcanine is actually good against Saraledge here.
So he's Intimidate, not Flash Fire, so he won't be able to take Bitter Blades. I thought that was an agency drop. It's just weak armor. Wow, that does nothing.
Yeah,
Arcanine's just gonna pack him up here. Oh, he switches to Hippowdon rather than but the Saraledge is at 10%, so it's gonna have a tough time coming back in. Hippowdon takes that really well, but I mean, Corv comes in now, right? It just takes nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
No way Hippo can do anything. Oh my god.
Goes to Bax.
It's going for game. Oh,
Corviknight's fine too.
Speedy D makes the right play for him. Corviknight comes in.
Defogs his
He
own
defogs
webs
his
away.
webs.
Oh no. Oh no, because Saraledge.
Oh, Saraledge had boots. Saraledge had boots.
What I realized is that this Baxcalibur was adamant at some point. No, that's actually not true. I'm not sure. It could, if it's adamant, the Saraledge. Oh, you're right. It was boots. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Actually, fine play by Arvo.
Yep. Oh, it's a eject button. He forces the Saraledge in on sand. So Saraledge dies. Oh, but he Bitter Blades instead of switching to Arcanine. Oh, it's Rocky Helmet, so he still gets the KO.
That was a roller coaster right there.
Yeah. All right.
Insane.
So he kind of, I don't know, if this is Roost Corviknight, he really should have kept that around.
Yeah, if it's Roost, you click Roost. If it's not Roost, well, first of all, why not? Second of all, you could have switched.
I don't know.
You could have switched to Bax, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does it matter to keep Corviknight here? What does it beat?
Sylveon,
really.
probably.
I mean, yeah, I guess Sylveon.
It might not have Mystical Fire, Type of Voice on.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I mean, why not just keep him on, right? If you have the ability to with Roost. Because you're not getting any chip with that 15%, because Arcanine's going to be your only way to beat that thing.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you could go Arcanine. If this Arcanine has Morning Sun, it should be packed up almost. Well, I don't know.
So probably Bax comes in and clicks the Ice move, and then Fortress has to take it. And here we see the controversy. That's not his Terra Captain.
Oh no. You're telling me you've got Roaring Moon, which dark flying is the easiest Terra captain since Dragonite uh, normal, and who the fuck cares what the other type is. And you pick Sarah Ledge, which is a fine Terra captain, by the way,
Yeah.
for fighting. And then you say, nah, let me forget the rules and go Terra Water on my Hippowdon.
Yeah.
What?
And someone ran the calc earlier and said that Icicle Crash would have killed here 100% had it landed. And definitely would have 2-hit KO'd. But I mean, at this point, like, just kind of Jover. Yeah.
The server reset
JWKJR
was
really.
canceled. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, everything that happens after this is kind of like alternate universe.
Right. And yeah, backs can't click anything that wins here. Clicks Flame Rush, which loses 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay, so, I mean, I think per the rules, that's going to be basically a DQ for Speedy D.
Yep.
Did we decide what's happening with the stats for this game?
Yeah, I believe it was decided that all KOs are going to be consistent as they occurred, but it's just going to be a forfeit for the Macon Steppas.
Well, do we know if the KOs that happened after turn 25 are going to count? I feel like they shouldn't.
I personally feel like they shouldn't, but I'm not the stats guy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, let's go back to turn 25 just for the sake of argument here.
Right.
Let's just say Hippowdon doesn't Terra Water here, and you're getting hit with what's it called? Icicle Crash.
Icicle Crash.
Which does 17. So it's going to do 4 times that much because it'll, instead of being resisted, it's going to be super effective, right?
Right.
So that's like 51
What?
damage?
17 times 4? It's 68, right?
Wow. I have a math degree, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, it does 68.
68. So it's a roll. It could kill. Now, you
Right.
went for stealth rocks.
So it's a roll now, but it's always a 2-hit KO if he's not water.
Oh, yeah.
And he obviously would have gone for something other than stealth rocks because there's no way he takes a hit here and doesn't switch, right?
Yeah,
he's
but
expecting to take nothing.
Yeah,
So,
Earthquake's not doing anything. Whirlwind doesn't get you anything out of the turn because you're just switching into Arcanine. So you get your Earthquake for some chip, but that doesn't really it really matter? It might matter against Fortress.
Right.
Yeah, but okay, so then Excalibur would get a kill here.
Or Fortress would be forced to take an Icicle Crash.
So then,
which I mean, it probably takes decently well, but then the game opens up from there a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering, like, do you think Arvo wins this game if there's no Terra here?
I mean, there's definitely a game to be played.
Yeah.
It would be wrong to say otherwise. Okay, so max HP, max defense Fortress, which is just like the standard set, takes like 15% from Ice Crash here. So it's definitely a safe switch in. Not that it hits back for anything more than like 5%. But at least like it makes it a game.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Yeah, Bax definitely has a chance to. I mean, at the very least, Bax is going to get another KO.
Right.
Like, maybe he could have went to Fortress, but then you're going to switch to Arcanine. Then maybe
At some point,
Arcanine's
Bax
probably
can
getting
come
the KO.
in. You
Yeah.
don't need to click Icicle Crash at some point. Yeah, at some point you can start clicking things like Earthquake because Hippo can't take an Earthquake. Fortress takes more from Earthquake. I don't think Sylveon takes an Earthquake.
Yeah. The thing here is like that forced me. I kind of think Speedy D still wins this game if he plays it right.
Agreed.
I think what you do here is you go straight to Fortress. Then you can fairly safely Volt Switch.
Yeah, slow Volt Switch. And if Arcanine comes in, you can make him play.
Yeah, if Arcanine comes in, you go to Hippowdon, you get a free Earthquake. If Bax comes
let's not forget that Hippo in this situation would be at 20%. So I don't know if you get a free Earthquake.
Yes, but what I would have done on turn 25 is just switch hard Fortress instead of stay in and do anything with Hippowdon.
Right. Yeah.
I don't disagree with getting the Sandstorm up. I think that's totally fine, but you could go Fortress. You're gonna resist whatever hit. You probably are not threatened with a KO. And then you can Volt Switch. If he goes Arcanine, you come back to Hippowdon. If he stays with Bax, you go to Sylveon. And you get your chip with Hyper Voice. And then it's a slow game, but you chip them out, and you're going to win this one eventually, I think. Unless you get a play wrong against Baxcalibur. In which case, then you're kind of goofed.
Yeah, without knowing the sets, I assume Speedy D wins this from the position, and that the Terra didn't matter. But he did Terra.
Yeah.
He's not captain. So.
Now, in the hypothetical where he doesn't Terra Water, and he stays in with Hippowdon, I see a route where Arvo wins this game for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So, yeah, a hard one to say. I wish it didn't end like that, but the rules are rules.
And hopefully now that it's happened once, it won't happen again.
And this is why every Pokemon that's not my Terra Captain, I make them Terra Normal so that I'm not tempted.
Right.
Because, sometimes you just forget, and that's just the nature of it. But speaking of Terra Captains and everything, as I like to do, I like to look at any trades that have happened, and it seems like there was a lot of trading this week. If my spreadsheet will update. Let me reload it. I guess Sarah Ledge got more kills than Wishcash. But also came one more game, so Alright, so the Vaultin Veluzas burning through their trades, getting Indeedee and giving up Lycanroc. What do you think about that?
I know Indeedee is often used with what do you call that thing? Armor Rouge for Psychic terrain to give it access to protection from priority, and then what's that Psychic move called? You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, Expanding Force.
Expanding Force. And that's perfectly fine in VGC where it's seen a lot. But I don't know how reliable it is in singles. Maybe in a lower powered format like this, he'll be able to get away with it, and get some sick Armor gameplay. But I mean, Lycanroc realistically probably wasn't doing anything for him, so at least now he's opened up another option on his team. But again, that's another one of his free agency slots, and if he's ever interested in changing his Terra Captain, which he shouldn't be, or picking up some other pieces, he does have to be careful with what he's got left.
Yeah, I mean, my sort of thought is I don't think Indeedee is great for this team, because even though it pairs pretty well with Armor Rouge, keeping off the really nasty priority moves like Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch, as well as boosting its Expanding Force, it's a double-edged sword. It goes both ways, because now when the Psychic terrain is up, your King Gambit can't click Sucker Punch, and that might lose you a game.
That's a great point.
As for the rest of his Pokemon, like Psychic Terrain helps Veluza at least.
True.
Same reason as Armarouge, it keeps off the nasty priority moves, and then also your Psycho Cut will be doing more damage. I'm tempted to say it's not the best pickup, but also, like, what do you need Lycanroc for?
Yeah.
Maybe it would be halfway decent against, like, my team. I do have a lot of Rock Weak Pokemon, but I don't know. Lycanroc is so mid. It's literally got it in the name.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it like adds some viability to his like weird cheesy sweeps with Armarouge or Veluza. But like you said, if it steps on the toes of King Gambit, which like should be his win condition, King Gambit's probably like, I think probably the strongest Pokemon you could pick up in a draft league like this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're opening yourself up to losing your main win con in exchange for like goofy cheese strats, and the thing about goofy cheese strats is that if your opponents know that you're capable of them beforehand, because you only have to build a team for that one opponent. You don't have to build it for everything in mind. You can bring an answer for these weird cheesy stuff, and then at that point, like, you can't catch them unawares with it anymore, and then it's just like you said, it could hurt more than it could help.
Right. Well said. Another trade that we saw was Shadow Wizard Money Gang forewent Iron Thorns for Houndstone. What do you think about that?
Iron Thorns can't Terra, so it's never gonna get its dream like Dragon Dance Terra Bug sweep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty bad. But Houndstone doesn't get last respects, so it's also really bad. I don't really know what it did. He already has Sableye for like a ghost type if he's looking for that. I don't know what Houndstone does that isn't last respects.
Yeah, I'm looking through it, and I'll be honest, I think Iron Thorns matched up really well against Bulking Bloons, and he just didn't bring it. So
yeah,
like that was probably the one team that it would have matched up pretty well. You know, it actually matches up decently well against my team.
Another rock type, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been at least worth a consideration.
Yeah, I think he traded a great benchwarmer for another great benchwarmer.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think, who does Houndstone even beat? Maybe the Identity Thieves? But I don't know. Like, Zoroark is going to be tough against you. And, like, am I smoking or did they already play?
They already played.
So, like...
Because there was the Liquidation Great Tusk incident.
Oh my goodness. We never speak of that.
Oh.
Like, yeah, Houndstone is so bad against the Macon Steppas. It's pretty bad against your team. It's not like it's not any better than Iron Thorns against the Grafted Grafaiais. Like, you probably weren't gonna bring either of them. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like there's some crazy like fluffy iron defense body press set or something like that I'm not thinking about. But like, I just don't see why even bother using the trade for it.
No, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but he's a known kitchen enthusiast, so if he can cook something crazy up, I'm here for it. But given his recent time in the kitchen, I'm a little suspect.
Mm-hmm. And then the last two are Terra Captain trades. The first two, and they happen in the same week. What are the odds? My Volcarona, I think it was a good Terra Captain. I think it would have been good against certain matchups, but looking at it, I kind of figured that most of the matchups that my Volcarona is good against, and no disrespect to everybody that I'm saying this about, but they're all really garbage players, so I don't need to Terra my Volcarona to win.
Oh no.
And then I was looking at some players that I thought were maybe a bit better, and thinking, if I had a Garganical with a good type, like Rock is not a great defensive type, I would have a lot better of a chance against them. So I decided that I was going to switch my Garganical to Rock and Fairy for my options. Rock purely because I have to pick a stab type. Otherwise, I would have totally went with Water Fairy. And why Fairy over Water? Well, my next game is against the Grafted Grafaiais, and I was looking at their team, and I just said, well, if I had a good Fairy type, he can't touch me. Like, period. Except for Grafaiai, but the Grafaiai is just going to die very fast to an Earthquake, so I don't really care about that. However, the Grafted Grafaiais also decided to change their Terra Captain from Annihilate to Walking Wake, and they picked, wouldn't you know it, Water and Poison.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it like that, it's definitely an interesting pick. Poison Terra Blast helps out against fairies. So there's that. But he has Iron Treads.
He also has Bronzong just as an option.
Right. So
but, I mean,
like
it's not a good option.
He has he has Iron Treads and Talonflame realistically. He's got Cloth, you know, when we're bringing up if we're bringing up mons like that. But yeah, so Poison makes sense if he's looking for an offensive check to fairies. But
and now and I'm not saying that he caught wind of what I was gonna do as the guy who has the spreadsheet, so you have to tell him when you want to make a trade. But it does look suspicious that the same week that I switch my Terra Captain, he picks the two types that counter my Terra Captain.
This is slander.
Whoa, before you play each
hold
other,
on.
nonetheless.
Nobody invited you to this. Actually, you know what? Speak your truth. What are you saying? This is, by the way, the captain of the Grafted Grafaiais.
Yeah. So basically, you know, you've seen my team. I've seen my team. I got cooked by Arboliva.
Okay, don't put this on Arboliva.
No, I'm putting this on Arboliva.
Don't put this on Arboliva.
Listen, I don't have the best matchups against grass types. Having a poison type would
What
help.
other grass types are in the league? Masquerada?
Brother, I'm playing for playoffs. Calm down.
Amoonguss doesn't count. Don't say
yeah,
Amoonguss.
Amoonguss doesn't count. It's poison type.
But, I gave away that brute bonnet.
Oh my goodness.
But no. Honestly, like I struggle with grass types. I struggle with fairy types. And I didn't want to be a fire type because I already have fire coverage with flamethrower.
If I could tell you the truth, Walking Wake Flamethrower probably does 80 to 90% to Arboliva.
Oh no. I have no doubt if I had flamethrower that would have cooked. But
yeah, you would have had to have Walking Wake.
no wonder you struggled against Arboliva.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're complaining about grass types? I was going to say, you got Talonflame.
Talonflame's literally the best grass type answer in the entire game.
Yeah. And this bozo had the worst prep known to man and didn't bring either. But besides that, I don't know. Poison looked good. I mean, y'all know. I've been talking about. I didn't really want Annihilate to be my Terra Captain because I felt like it's already a good type.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I don't always want to bring it. It's by no means like the best mon in the league. It doesn't have Rage Fist, so it doesn't feel like I need it in every matchup. And now that I have a fairy type on my team in Gardevoir, thanks to the trade from last week, I was more interested in having something that can actually resist fairy as well.
Mm.
So then it was kind of between steel and poison for me. Both are weak to ground.
Well, my question was why not fire? Because that also resists fairy.
Because like I said, I wanted to add some coverage potential as well with the Terra Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Anyways, going back to our game, there's the
No, we don't really have to talk about
the
that
wish,
too much.
the wish Jolteon and the double Shadow Claw, not scarfed. Could you squeak to those?
Oh yeah. So the first Shadow Claw, obviously, I was clicking what was in front of me, right? And then the
Of course.
second Shadow Claw, I was reading that you were gonna switch to your Ghost type on my Drain Punch. My Annihilate did not have a move that could hit both a Ghost and a normal type.
Right.
So it was just gonna come down to reads at that point, and I overread a lot.
Now, albeit the set that I told Baja to watch out for was Terra Fairy with Terra Blast instead of Shadow Claw, because that would give you an option to hit both.
How much attack investment did Annihilate have?
My Annihilate? Let me pull up.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have my other laptop. My Annihilate, I don't think had much. It was definitely mostly a defensive set.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I had a ton of HP. I had a ton of defense. I'm trying to remember exactly what I had all the defense for. Oh, I was trying to make it a super tanky build. I had Mirror Herb. It never came up in the game, but I had Mirror Herb.
Oh, okay.
And I had it tanky enough that I could switch in Raw on a play rough from your Azumarill.
Right. I mean, yeah,
if you weren't +6. Yeah.
Right.
So the plan was basically switch in hard on Azumarill anytime you brought it out, and then if Annihilate still has Mirror Herb intact, great. I now have +6 attack as well, and I survive an Aqua Jet.
Right.
And then I OHKO in return.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super
Or
cheesy,
if you
but
had
also kind of gas.
Yeah, or if you had anything else like a physical, like Dragon Dance, Dragapult, in prep for maybe a Scarfed Walking Awake or something, then, if I could switch in on a DD, obviously I get the Mirror boost then, and then Terra Fairy, go to town. And I would survive a Steel Wing.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was very much I was going to let you be your own demise, and then you just started clicking things and didn't use Belly Drum ever.
No.
Or Dragon Dance or
I was Assault Vest Azumarill.
Yeah. No, I had a feeling.
Nothing else beats Walking Wake on my team, and Assault Vest Azumarill kind of rubs it through the dirt. So I spent hours thinking about, okay, I need Azumarill to beat Walking Wake. Long hours of my night where I toiled away the team builder, laid in bed thinking about this Walking Wake.
Keep it real with you, I slapped that team together in like 15 minutes sitting on the couch with the dog.
Yeah, you played like it too.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I did play like it too.
Yeah, I'm being a little facetious, but I definitely, my first and foremost was, okay, Walking Wake, Azumarill beats it, and then I even had a variant of this team with, instead of a Spathra, I had Umbreon, so I could wish pass it a little bit. But then I got gooped by Annihilate during a practice game, so I put on Focus Sash Spathra to be able to get off at least a what do you call it?
Lumina Crash.
Lumina Crash, thank you. And then Revenge Kill, either through that or through something else. So I was prepared for that. I was super prepared for Walking Wake.
Now
with my Azumarill.
Now I think you have to answer for your sins here, because I understood what the Shadow Claw into Arboliva was, but what is this Jolteon set?
Heck.
It's not tech, it's
for
trash.
what?
It's definitely trash. But explain it for the viewers.
Okay, yeah. So Quick Feet, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm assuming you explained it earlier, but Quick Feet is an ability. It works like Guts, but it's for speed. So if you're status, you get 1.5 times the speed. So I was running Flame Orb because then I wouldn't have to be scarfed into something like a T-Bolt or a Shadow Ball, and I would still outspeed a Dragapult quite handedly, unless you were scarfed, of course. Yeah, so basically, with Jolteon, it struggles from this concept of it doesn't have any moves at all. It has every electric type move in the game.
That's weird.
And it has Shadow Ball. So I had an electric type move and I had Shadow Ball, and And then I was like, what else do I want on this? And I honestly I can't remember if I had Protect or if I had Volt Switch, but
We definitely had
it was-
Volt Switch.
yeah. So it was between those two for me. I had Wish because I literally didn't have another move that I wanted to put on it.
Yeah, Wish Protect.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. I'm
Protect.
saying Wish was my third move, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So you're saying you have like
then-
what? Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Wish.
Well, so I had Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Wish, and then I was debating between Volt Switch and Protect. I opted for Protect because I knew that Scizor was your only defogger, so your only hazard removal, and that you didn't have any T-Spike absorbers.
Right.
So part of my game plan was get up a layer of T-Spikes, have Toxic on Grafaiais, and just be like an asshole, and just set up Protects and stall out for damage.
Can I ask, was the Annihilate Defiant boost on the a defog something like, is that an interaction you knew about? Because I never even considered.
Oh no, I definitely knew about that.
Okay,
Like
that was sick. I thought I
Yeah,
lost the game
when-
right there.
I mean, when Scizor came out, I knew, okay, Scizor just came out hard on T-Spikes. Dude's going to click defog. I go
Right.
into Defiant mod. Also, I'm super physically bulky, so your Scisor's not going to do anything at all. But yeah, obviously, my Annihilate
Yeah.
was not able to take it too far from there, though.
No. Oh, and while you were talking about
Encore
the
was heat, by the way.
Scizor-
Encore was filled
Yeah.
on the Arvaliga. That was,
Yeah. Well, I thought about bringing Earth Power, but I didn't think I'd click it against anything. So
Yeah,
I
like,
just
honestly-
brought it on board.
honestly, maybe next time, Annihilate. Not even Mirror Herb. Maybe it's
Just
what is it,
arrest.
Mental Herb.
What? No, not Mental Herb. No.
Hey, you can't get
Um,
Encore, bro.
You were talking about beating my Scizor, but you with like I guess Grafaiais, but you can't
No, I
poison
can't touch
him.
Grafaiais. The only thing I could do to Grafaiais is put the Black Sludge on it.
You mean Scizor? Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, Scizor
I gotcha.
with Grafaiais.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And I assume
that
you
was
were,
really funny that you were not prankster.
right.
Oh yeah, no. I was there was no way in hell I was gonna bring Prankster against the Grimmsnarl. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
Jeez, yeah, I don't know. I really thought you were just gonna run Sunny Day, Grafaiais, and instead of Jolteon or Frogadier, bring Walking Wake, and that would have been a lot scarier. I think the one of the reasons why this game was so lost for you, I feel like, is you just didn't have any offensive pressure.
Yeah, for sure. No, I had way too many gimmicks. I think, on their own, each gimmick, if it was pulled off, would be really cool. But I didn't have a balanced enough team to support and actually enable the gimmicks to like be executed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool though. It was still a fun game.
yeah. I wanted to let you know, in terms of gimmicks at least, I had Terra Grand Dragapult. So it makes Walking Wake a 50-50. Because I died a
Yeah, I
I
figured you
died a
would.
Draco, or I Terra and I died a Hydro Steam.
I'll be honest,
Um,
Terraground Dragapult was, or I mean, even if you're Terra Ghost, like that was one of the reasons
Yeah.
I didn't even bother bringing Walking Wake,
Okay.
because I felt like I would have to run an entire like this is anti-Dragapult set, but even then it would come down to a 50-50, like you said.
Right.
So I was like, all right, screw it.
I think you did need to force the 50-50 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pult didn't come in, and Pult came in like once to U-turn, but I think Pult would have just. I just started clicking Shadow Balls.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
As
so
specs, I believe. I go back and check.
Yeah, no, that was the big thing for me, is I couldn't decide with Walking Awake if I wanted to be physically defensive or specially defensive, because I didn't know what you'd
Mhm.
bring on Dragapult. And so I was like, all right, screw it. I can't decide. I just won't bring it.
Ah,
wow. All right, so looking ahead to Game 4, any notable matchups, or how do you feel about your next matchup?
I think my next matchup's going to be pretty free.
Oh yeah, you think so? I was
Yeah,
thinking the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, it'll probably be my easiest match of the entire preseason.
Well, I mean, the Terra Captain trade was instrumental for that.
Wait, preseason? Isn't this just the season?
Yeah. Well, it's pre-playoff.
And how
Yeah.
about you, Baja? I think you got a pretty tough one coming up.
I'm going for 6 with the Electros. We'll see if I can pull that off.
Wait, who do you play?
Play Blake or Arvo, the no point
no.
exception. But
But
no,
you know which 6 mons he's gonna bring.
Yeah, with Max Caliber, you know it's dangerous, but who knows? I might try for something goofy, or I might just sweat it out to not make myself a laughingstock.
Jeez.
Yeah. Vulcan Bloons versus Macon Steppas is one I want to watch. As someone who I helped Vulcan Bloons captain Will Cookie prepare a little bit, so I want to see that come to fruition. I think the Macon Steppas is a trash team. I'm calling them out. I think the 6 mons that you bring are the only 6 mons you have, and they suck.
Damn.
And then I also want to see the Vaultin Veluzas versus Shadow Wizard Money Gang, because it might be another mid-off, and those are always exciting.
Those are exciting.
I'm interested to see GPT versus Identity Thieves because I think they're the only two that don't have a win yet, right? Or am I smoking? Yeah, that's right. So somebody's getting on the leaderboard.
Somebody's getting on the board.
Well, not to be that guy, but if a certain someone didn't tear their hip out on, there'd be 3 donuts on the board. But...
Okay, that's
well,
true.
I mean, we discussed it, and we think that it really depends on what he did on turn 25, other than Terra.
Mhm.
I think think if he stayed in, he would have lost. If he switched out, he would have won.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll never live in that world. And he teared his shit.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a big fat -1 on his record. Well, anyway, I think that covers about everything that we needed to for Game 3. Glad to have you on, Baja, as always. We'll try to get somebody new on, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
And for you, Alex, sleep with one eye open.
Look forward to the game. I want to watch it.
All right. See you all later.